Welcome back to On the Branch, guys.
Oh, we're starting.
Yeah, we're starting without telling anyone.
Don't start an episode while I've got a soda in my hand and...
You know, why wouldn't I? Because you've never done that to me.
Wow, that would have been the perfect time to,
okay,
belch.
We're gonna start at this time, and it's like 3 seconds later.
The one time which I want to force a belch and it just will not come out. To punctuate the point. You caught me with my pants down, proverbially.
Well, why did you have your pants down?
I don't. It's freezing in here.
It's not that bad.
It's probably about
Besides,
62.
don't you like it cold?
Yeah, but not this cold.
Why not?
Because I don't have a blanket like you.
There's a blanket right behind you.
Ooh, let me grab a blanket.
Just don't grab it too loudly.
I will grab it extremely loudly. Let's look at that microphone readout as I grab this blanket.
Just don't slam the blanket into the...
Oh, you don't want me to rub the blanket on the microphone?
No.
How did you know I was planning that?
Because you're John and you like doing dumb things like that.
I love playing with microphones.
I don't.
I learned it from Heather Feather, okay?
Who?
Heather Feather, she's an ASMR person, YouTube personality. What's the word you're looking for?
I really don't listen to ASMR.
It doesn't affect you, right?
No.
Have we had this discussion on this show?
I don't remember.
Okay, well...
we could have it briefly, just...
It affects me very strongly. I remember having trouble in school because some teacher's natural speaking voice had an ASMR effect on me. And I didn't know what that was because that's a term that didn't even exist until maybe about 10 years ago when a bunch of people on the internet all realized they had the same thing. I think I assumed just everybody had that effect.
I mean... It might affect me, but not the same way that you get it.
Yeah, no, I definitely get the classical, like, pleasant, tingly, makes me sleepy, makes me lose focus. I use it now specifically to fall asleep when I have a hard time falling asleep, or if I have to go to bed early, if it's noisy outside. It's very comforting.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to... Pay attention a second.
Or if I get a migraine. It's really great if you have a migraine.
Speaking of which, have you ever... this was something that my aunt recently told me about, and it's one of those things where it's like, oh, I actually finally realized that that's a thing that has an actual term. Have you ever heard of migraine aura?
Migraine aura?
Yeah.
No, please...
That is actually like the official term for it or something. Basically, it's something like during a migraine, which... I'd never really known myself to get migraines, but it is as close to what I've seen described as possible, where basically part of your vision just blurs the fuck out for no reason whatsoever.
Oh, yeah. I've talked to you about this off the show. Not only is it part of my vision, it'll be a blind spot that grows. It'll start in one spot. And the most frustrating part, like, not only can I not see that area, and I mean, when I get migraines, it's like a concussion. Because I've had those too. Mm-hmm. I start to have blind spots, speech gets harder, even thinking in language might get harder. It's just all around a bad time. I get nauseated. Nauseated is the right word, right? Not nauseous.
So.
Yeah. Anyway, but the most frustrating thing about the blind spots or aura, migraine aura, is I will look at something, like say I have to look at Sonic's little head there on the life counter. If I turn my head to move my blind spot, to where I can see it like with my right eye, my brain will decide, no, you're not seeing that information. I don't want you to see that information. I'm dying here. That's my guess. That's my speculation.
Well, because in the fact that I learned a little bit more about it, so it's actually not one eye. It is actually both eyes.
Oh, okay.
So that's why it's doing that.
But I mean, it'll be with a different part of my eye. I cannot see it. I will not be able to see it. So I think it's something to do with your brain decides it's going to ignore certain pieces of information to save itself or protect itself while it's going through whatever
it's doing.
Yeah, whatever chemical or electrical breakdown it's having, whatever malfunction it's suffering through. Brains are stupid. Yeah. Bad platforming.
There we go.
The human body is really
determined to kill itself.
It really is like the ultimate case of it works just enough to survive and doesn't work well. It's like the human spine is like the most poorly constructed thing you can imagine. If you were to design, like, if you were to hand that in as a high school project of how you would design,
how to make an efficient spine.
Yeah, you would fail, or you'd get a D. You'd barely pass.
Because it's just barely functional.
Yeah. Well, and you look at other animals, and theirs are much more functional. If you look at four-legged mammals, their spines are actually very efficient and very effective, but they've had, 70, 100 million years to develop and be refined, and for natural selection to work over many, many, many more generations, to where, with humans, our bad backs haven't had that many generations to have selective processes on them. I mean, they've only had thousands of generations, and
Not
fewer
millions.
where we age to where we get into our serious back problems.
And then, we just recently started getting fat.
Yeah, that too. So we really haven't had those selective pressures. So, yeah, human spines just suck. They're pretty terrible, yeah. And that's why, like, at least 1 out of every 2 people over the age of 20 has a bad back.
Well, I have a bad back, 1, because I'm fat, and 2, because it actually runs in the family.
Oh, and I'm lucky. I do not have a bad back, despite the number of times I've injured it. I always heal back full. The worst I get is, being fat. I'll wake up and my back is sore. But that's just part of being a ripe, old-aged man of 30.
Ripe, old age of 30.
Yep. I'm ancient.
I know, I'm only coming up behind you. I'm turning 27 soon.
Let me tell you, it is so good feeling. My last job...
The one that you were just on, or?
Yeah, the one we were talking about yesterday. My supervisor... Oh, what did he say? He said, He said something like, "You did a good job there, youngin'," or youngster. He called me youngster. And I looked straight at him and I said, "Please call me that more often." Because I work in a trade where, the average employee is about 50 years old, because it's just...
that generation.
Yeah, like that generation became maintenance engineers.
For some reason.
Well, because it was a good middle-class job that had a strong union behind it.
Oh god, I fucked it up.
Yep. And you're not going to get through. Good job, Indy. Oh, you made it through.
Nope, I didn't.
Oh, sorry.
I almost made it.
Sorry, Indy. Did you just...
No, so reset.
Okay. I thought you died.
It looks like I just jumped into the void, but I actually just made it better.
Hooray. So, yes, going from most of my friends being 5 to 10 years younger than me to going to work and most of my coworkers are 20 to 30 years older than me, that's like one good thing that feels good.
Yeah.
It feels good being the young one.
It messes with you, though.
Yeah.
Just like that age gap.
Well, it definitely is strange, like when I...
Oh god, I fucked that up.
When I told coworkers that we started doing this show, like, first there's about a 5 to 10 minute preamble about, like, YouTube culture to, like, get to explaining why anyone would watch a Let's Play. And it's hard enough for me, because I'm at, like, the top age of people that watch Let's Plays, right?
I think so.
I don't want to get into the demographics of each channel, but...
Every channel's different. It
Yeah.
depends on really what you talk about and
what
you play, because...
There are only a few, like, strictly Let's Play channels that people my age even watch, period.
Because I watch a Let's Play channel that I know that you and... okay.
Yeah. Well,
you and Jamie don't watch.
Yeah. I wouldn't even...
And its general demographic is actually, I think, 15 to 20?
Yeah. Well, and I wouldn't have even gotten into Let's Plays if you hadn't kind of drug me into it. You were constantly
I'm glad
watching.
I could make you this curse.
Yeah, you would watch them at my house, and I just had no interest. I thought it was the dumbest thing in the world, and part of me still thinks it is.
Yeah.
But I still watch them, and now I make them. And
yeah.
I can kind of understand making them more than I can understand watching them. True. Because, I mean, how much were we playing video games a year ago? Like, none.
I think the most I played prior to starting up this channel was like 3 games a year.
Yeah, and when we were teenagers, we would just play like hours a day. Yeah, hours a day in the after school,
and,
on the weekends.
Think about it, it's one of those things that it's like, I could have gotten a job. I could have had a crap ton more money than I have right now.
I don't know about you. I was a teenager in a economic environment where I could not have gotten a job because I tried.
You know what I mean, but like when I was...
Yeah, you could have gotten a
16,
skill.
17,
you could have learned to play a musical instrument.
Which I did. I can actually play guitar.
You could play guitar?
Yeah.
Do you play left-handed or right-handed?
Left-handed.
Wow.
I have 2 left-handed guitars in my dad's storage.
Why don't you ever play guitar?
Because I don't enjoy it.
Oh, so you can, but you don't like it.
I mean, it's okay. It's one of those things where I sort of fell out of it just because I started reading the actual music and I wasn't really playing anything that I liked or wanted to play.
Huh.
Like, I don't know... What is the thing called? It was tablature, not actual music. I don't know if you know what that is.
Yeah, I do know what you're talking about, vaguely.
So for people that don't know what tablature is, please explain it, John.
No, vaguely. I said I vaguely know what it means.
So, the best way to describe it, like...
Just pretend I have no clue what you're talking about.
Okay. So you're saying you have no clue what I'm talking about?
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you did. Okay, hang on. There's an upgrade for Knuckles in this area somewhere. I gotta find it.
You gotta get trapped behind a closing door? So tablature.
So, tablature is... Think a guitar. A guitar has 6 strings, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, tablature would have 6 lines on it. And it's like, you know how traditional music is? It has... I can't remember. Like 5 or 7, some sort of odd-numbered... lines, and it has, the time.
Right. So it's a different form of notation that's a little more...
It's a lot easier because instead of seeing the notes, it tells you, hey, press this on here.
Yeah, it's a direct description of what string you're plucking with your hand in that position, as opposed to, Okay, I did know what that was, but I had no way to describe that. You know what instrument I always wanted to learn and never did? Because...
The flute?
Partly because I am partially tone deaf. It's like one of the only instruments I could play. Well, that too. I would love to be a good singer. I always wanted to learn the piano because my mom played a piano when I was a kid, and my grandma played the piano, and I love the sound of a piano.
Well, you always can.
Yeah, maybe I will next time on the branch.
Next time.
While
finding keys.
I'm gonna learn to play the piano.
Yeah.
In one episode.
All right. See ya.